afternoon, Venice, Northport, Nokomis, basically all of Sarasota County. This is Francesco Abbruzzino from the Francesco Abbruzzino Live News and Talk Show with a special edition Saturday segment. Just going to do a quick segment. Wanted to tell you a little bit about the meeting that I was just at involving Vern Buchanan, our congressional representative up in D.C. Came to the Venice City Hall and did a little bit of a town hall format. Some things I did notice here. First thing is communication. I didn't find out about this meeting until my talk show on Thursday, I think, when Charles Hammer called in and he revealed it to me. And what's funny is I think I really got my foot on the pulse here in Sarasota County. And if I don't know about it, I know you guys certainly didn't know about it. So what I did is I put it out on the Scoop Facebook page for Northport, Inglewood, and Venice, letting everybody know. And then I put it on the things to do today list for the Venice Scoop. Sorry, I had to eat a prosciutto sandwich real quick before I came on here. And still, people didn't find out. And I understand that. Not everybody lives on Facebook. So what I'd like to say to the congressman, if anybody on his staff is listening, is, A, get it out to the people. And why I'm saying that is, I was the youngest guy there. I'm 47. I shouldn't have been the youngest guy there. I'm the only one that didn't have gray hair. I'm starting to get gray hair. My beard definitely has it. But I shaved today, so I looked really young. And the tats, of course, helped. So, basically, bottom line is, unless our youth get involved in the community and get out there, they're not going to be helped. Today's stuff primarily focused on the seniors. A few people came on my threads and said, hey, you know, you live in a world of seniors and they're not going to represent us. No, you have a voice. You have to get out there and use it. If you're not out there using it, they're not going to hear you. Others said, hey, we're too busy with work and everything. Listen, folks. I run a business. I run a rather successful business. I work a ton of hours. I run the Scoop page for free, the Northport page for free, Taking a Bite Out of Crime in Sarasota County for free, Inglewood Scoop for free, my Educate Inspire page for free, and I got a few other things that I'm doing. And this talk show, it takes time to prepare for a talk show, but I found the time to make it out there today. I understand if you had to work today, hey, we got to pay our bills. But if you're just hanging out at the house, today it's cloudy, it's foggy, it's not that warm. You could have made it there if you want to be heard, and you need to. We need to get our youth in there. Now, what we're discussed, and I'll pull it up over here on a chart, just to cover a few things. And I'm going to use this just to basically refresh my memory, and it's the thread that I was basically sending out to everybody from there. One thing that I did notice is there were a few council members there. One thing that was sadly missing is the mayor. Now, how can we expect our youth to get there and everybody else to get there when our mayor's not even there? I don't know if he didn't get the communication that he was coming or if he had something to do, but we need our leadership there, first of all. Second of all, I went to his last town hall meeting. That place was packed, standing room only. Only 2/3 of the people were there this time. Why? Why in God's name would we only have 2/3 of the people of a town of 20,000? Now, he came down to basically, I don't know if he's going to Northport or Inglewood, but, you know, we have combined, I think, 70,000, 80,000 residents. Why weren't more people there? Only 2/3 of that hall was filled up, folks. You're not going to get what you want if you don't show up and voice your opinion. The politicians are going to do what they think is in your best interest. What they think is in the best interest based upon these meetings, which are all seniors, and their interests are going to conflict with the guy that's middle-aged, me, or the guy that's a teenager that's 18 and you vote, you have a say, or the 30-year-old that's out there. So you need to get out there. All right, so enough harping on that. I'm sure you guys understand now. Basically, he talked about a few things. His biggest concern is the debt and bringing down the debt. We're bringing in about $2.8 trillion. He wants to get it down to 3.5, or we're putting out 3.5 trillion. We're bringing in 2.5 million. So we need to correct that. I asked him about the farmers bill, and I asked one question, and I didn't get to ask the other two questions. One was, I said, hey, what about the farmers bill and how you guys just cuts food stamps significantly by $90 a month for the average family? And this comes after just cutting it for the Healthy Foods Initiative that the Obamas wanted couple months ago. I go, you got that? I go, you got Obama saying that he's going to raise the minimum wage, and he gets everybody excited about that, but they don't understand the ramifications. They don't understand that you're going to see an increase in the food costs at McDonald's. The hamburger is going to go from $1 to $3. You got to pass that increased expense along somewhere. And then just Obamacare itself. A lot of people thought, hey, this is our saving grace. And it's turning out that it's not quite the saving grace that we all wanted it to be. Actually, I didn't think it would be. I was really in tune with it. Here we go. Increased premiums. Increased deductibles. I was listening to a lady the other day at the gym. Her monthly premium went up about $200. Her deductible from like $500 to $5,000. Not as many specialists because the insurance companies don't want that cost with the specialists, so they're cutting them. And let's not forget some of the just flaws of it. Rubio right now, and this is a question I didn't get to ask him, is Rubio wants to blockade a bailout of the insurance companies. You're wondering, what are you talking about, Frank? Obamacare has built into it a clause, if they aren't making money, the government has to bail them out. And they're not going to make money this year because right now they're targeted to be 1 million subscribers short, which is going to impact their bottom line. So I asked about that. He basically said, look, entitlements we're out of control with entitlements. Basically, he didn't say this, but basically we're a socialist society, and we're going deeper and deeper down that road. I agree with him. I'm not for the 10-10 minimum wage, and that's for a reason, because you guys, it sounds great. I'm going to get $3 more, but you don't know how it's going to impact you. Businesses are going to raise their prices. Businesses are going to lay you guys off. You're already laying off 2.5 million people from Obamacare with the 30-hour work week perimeter that's up there and not having over 50 employees. 2 obstacles that are killing employment. The disincentive to work. Hey, he said one problem we have right now with the youth is they're making more on unemployment. They're making more with Obamacare and welfare and food stamps that there's no initiative to go out and find a job. So they're disincented and they're staying at home. And some people that are working are seeing these people getting all these incentives, and they're saying, why work? Why don't I just do what they're doing? So they're in there, and they're trying to cut. Now, I don't agree with all the cuts. Like this farm bill, it had in there that you can't deal with certain low cost sugars, which is going to raise our sugar costs. They want money spent for promoting purchases of Christmas tree. I think it was $100 million for the promotion of maple syrup. We could have used that on the food stamps, right? And then we would have had $7 billion cut instead of $8.7 billion cut. So he didn't really answer. He said, well, he answered it somewhat and he didn't. He said basically that we have to rely more on small businesses and helping the businesses out there to get these people on board. And what's going to be the toughest part of it all is trying to get the common folk that are on welfare, that are on food stamps, that are relying now on Obamacare off that mindset of entitlements, which is starting to become ingrained in our youth. And you can tell a lot of seniors felt that way too, that the youth are too much into entitlement and they're paying for it, and the middle class is paying for it. Other thing with Obamacare, which you didn't realize, is a lot of people don't qualify for Obamacare, so they have to go to Medicaid. Well, Medicaid's not expanding in many states due to the cost, and a lot of people are being left without insurance. Another one is a retired teacher. Seemed like a real nice lady. She's doing some substituting. She went out there and pushed the healthy, Common Core initiative that the federal government is trying to shove down their throat. Vern said he basically wasn't for that, and he's more for the states taking initiative and doing that, but he didn't. It was really a non-answer on where he stood or what he would do with it. Another question was on foreign involvement. He's definitely not for involvement, and he wants to take the money away from there. He's like, look, we got our own problems here in the United States. Why are we giving money out to Egypt? Why are we giving money out to Israel? We need to take care of our own here in the States and start delving out the money here instead of there, which was great. So you know that I'm glad we do need to start looking at America first, okay? Now, he does believe that we can't be the world police, and I agree. We can't be the world police. A, it's just costing us an arm and a leg. B, many of our youth are dying. I'm a veteran of the Navy. I don't like to send guys off to war and police something that's happening over in Let's see, where? Syria. He was just trying to send them to Syria. The funny thing about that is he was trying to send Obama was trying to send our troops to Syria as he was funding the rebelists, the separatist rebelists that are fighting the Syrian government, and they have ties to Al-Qaeda. It was just a messy situation. Luckily, the general stepped up and said, "Look, you're crazy. You can't be doing this." So the next thing is, what else did they cover? Medicare, and they clamping down on the expenses, and he said it's something he's trying to do, and they covered senior scams. That's another initiative they're trying to resolve, where there's a lot of scams out there. A lot of seniors are being taken advantage of, and they just want to clamp down on that. Tax code, he said, hey, we'd love to work on the tax code. He thinks something must be done to help the business owners and the common folk. He doesn't see something happening anytime soon. On flood insurance, huge issue here. Not just on the wealthy, anyone that's in a flood-prone zone. He said he hopes to see something done this year, and someone brought up a fact, some information that I didn't even know, is that the insurance reps make a 30% commission off selling flood insurance, and that you're paying for that because the insurance company is boosting up the cost of it to cover that expense. Again, taking advantage of the common man. And then the other thing he talked about was the elderly population. Now, what's funny is he regarded seniors. This lady was 60, and she said, look, we're taking care of all these guys with all these entitlements. When are you going to look out for us? And he said, well, he goes, I don't consider you a senior until about another 15 years. And so basically he said that for the 55 to 65, no initiatives are out there coming. But for the older, they're trying to take initiatives to help them with the burden of the expenses that they're seeing. It is funny. I didn't understand. I didn't realize this. He went out to a home here, an old age home, and he was talking to him, and he found out the average age of the person in there, people in there, was 92. Pretty old, right? Yeah, and it's great. We're living longer, which coincidentally is one of the burdens that's hitting our budget. The United States is the life expectancy has gotten a lot longer, and it wasn't figured in, I take it. He said 20 years ago, where were you? What was the average age? And the guy said 72, I think it was 72. So as you can see with that, he doesn't know if those are real numbers. The guy was just saying on that location what they were. But there's my lovely wife walking across the street. Isn't that great? Right there in my news presentation. Okay, so you get the gist of it, that we're life expectancy is greater. With that, it's going to come more expenses, and it's just going to increase the budget a lot more. But basically, that's it. Like I said, I wasn't too happy that I was the only guy that was non-gray here there. You guys really need to get out there. I'll try to do better at promoting when the next town hall meeting is. And, I would love to think that our voices matter going there, and I would always try to go there. Unfortunately, I don't think they always do. I think it's a dog and pony show for the politicians to get out there and act like they're listening to us, and he's just going to vote his own conscience whichever direction he wants to go in. You got to realize he's a Republican, so most of his votes are going to go along the right or Republican lines versus the left. And he's only one man of many up there. Okay, so he's only got one vote of many votes up there. So, you've got to work on the whole system. But that's it for my Saturday coverage. Hopefully I did a good enough job. There weren't a lot of questions. We were cut off right at 1 hour. So we had about 45 minutes to ask questions. So that's about it. So this has been a special Saturday edition of the Francesco Abbruzzino Show, live news and talk show. So everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.